When you enter into the college algebra course, you can access the content in multiple different ways. You can either click on the module buttons here on the left, and you'll notice it takes you to each module. When you go back to the home page, you may also click on this button here where it lists modules at the top, again taking you to this home page. Lastly, you can also use the jump buttons below and jump into individual weeks as you see here. Let's jump into week 2. When you look at week 2 and you want to go into a homework assignment after you've viewed the lecture, you'll click on the homework link here. Now the homework can be very confusing at times. Say I come in here and I start the assignment. And I want to come down here and I only have a little bit of time, and so I come in here and I complete just this part of the question. So the domain for this question would be bracket -2, comma 1, parentheses. I hit submit question to check my answer, and I go, well, right now I can't continue working on this homework assignment, or I follow the Canvas navigation and I click next. If I want to go back into the assignment, I'll just hit previous and go back to where I was. If it is before the due date, I can click resume and it will pick up where I left off. Now this can be confusing because it does show that I made a grade of a 2.5 out of 10 points, even though I have not completed the assignment. You can also see that when I go into my grades and I look at the 1.2 homework. As I scroll down here, you can see it's not updated yet, but every few minutes the system updates with your grades. This grade will not be permanent until the due date has been reached, in this case of January 24th at 11:59 p.m. If I come into grades and I click on the homework assignment, you'll notice it looks a little bit different. This is just where your grade is bookmarked. Again, you can see that it's updated my grade to 2.5 out of 100, which is concerning because this is not the grade I would like to make. If you get into this point and you're unsure how to get back to it, you can either navigate back to our home page or the modules, or if you'll come up here to the top and you can click on this title here. When you click on this title, it will take you back to where you need to be, where again we can go to modules, we can go to the week that we are in and just click on this directly. Again, I can come in here, I can click resume, I can continue working. So I can always access the homework and work in it. Now if you click on a homework that is already past the due date, let's approach that. So if we go into, we were in week 1, so we'll go into week 1. This homework here, the due date has already passed. You can see that it only gives me the option for practice. The assessment was due Monday, 1/22 at 11:59 p.m. If I hit practice, I can access all of the homework assignments, but I will only go into a practice score. This is a great way to study for an exam or to make sure you understand concepts past the date. As you work on homeworks, you can only increase your grade, you can never decrease it. If it's in practice mode, the grade that was entered before the due date is what will be retained. Let's go back into that last homework and talk about some features of the homework. In this 1.2 homework, let me point some things out to you. First of all, if you would prefer to have paper assignments, you can click here and it will give you a printer-ready version. I do not accept paper homework, but this is really great if you have Wi-Fi issues, you want to work at work and don't have a computer in front of you, or for many other reasons. But you must go back and enter those questions and answers before the due date to receive credit. If you click on this button here, it does message me directly, but in order to see my response, you will have to again click on this button here. Best practice is to Canvas message me, say I'm on 1.2, number 1, I'm having some issues, state your question, and I can be of assistance just because your messages will show up over here. But this message button does work. Here is where you can keep track of your recorded score. This shows you how many attempts you have. You get 5 attempts on every single answer blank. That's why it says 4 to 5, because I only have 1 attempt left here, but 5 more on all remaining blanks. Feel free to hit submit question after each answer blank to make sure you're going along the right path. This tells me how many more times I can hit similar exercise. So by all means, if you don't understand it and you've gone through your blanks, reach out for help. Please don't spin your wheels, but you do get multiple attempts to score the highest possible, and attaining 100 on all homework assignments is achievable. So even if you get it right, say I've already gotten this right, but I'm really not confident in that, I can always hit get similar question, and then I can try my skills again. Now if I get this wrong, it will not decrease my grade. You notice I'm still at a 2.5 out of 10 points. So by all means, please practice the assignment until you feel confident in your answers. You do have to hit submit in order to retain those values. Check your answer. Lastly, here are some features at the bottom. I can hit message my instructor again to send me a message directly related to this question, but you will have to come back up in here and make sure it has a red number or click on it to see your messages. Here is also some more resources if you need direct help or maybe an example to assist you. And then this calculator is the only calculator we will use in the course. It will always be under each homework problem. Please become familiar with this. This is called the Desmos calculator. You can also download this app onto a device while you're working homework, but only the on-screen calculator will be allowed to be used during an exam. No handheld devices are allowed. Hopefully this rundown of the homework and the different ways to access it and all of its features was helpful, but if you struggle at any point, please reach out. I am always here to help.